Hey everyone, and welcome back to History Unpacked. Today we're tackling a really complex topic, the conflict between India and Pakistan.
Yeah, it's something you hear about in the news, but I feel like I don't really get the backstory. Wait, they used to be one country, right?
Exactly. For a very long time, before in 1947, the whole region, including modern-day Bangladesh, was part of British India. It was a huge colony of the British Empire.
Wow, so what happened? Why did Britain leave?
Well, after World War II, Britain was financially drained. They couldn't afford to run their empire anymore, and there was also a massive independence movement within India that had been fighting for freedom for decades.
Okay, that makes sense, but if they were leaving, why not just leave it as one big country? Why did Britain split the land?
That's the crucial question. It really came down to religion. The two main groups were Hindus and Muslims. As independence got closer, many Muslim leaders grew worried they would be a minority in a Hindu-dominated country.
Right, they were afraid of being sidelined.
Exactly. So they campaigned for a separate nation for Muslims, which they called Pakistan, meaning the land of the pure. The British government eventually agreed and decided to partition or divide British India into two countries, India and Pakistan.
So, how did they decide where the new border would be?
This is where it gets tragic. The new border was drawn up in just 5 weeks by a British lawyer who had never even been to India before. He drew lines on a map that cut through villages, homes, and communities.
That's unbelievable. It must have caused chaos.
It did. It triggered one of the largest migrations in history. Millions of Muslims traveled to Pakistan, and millions of Hindus and Sikhs traveled to India. This mass movement led to terrible violence, and historians estimate between 1 and 2 million people were killed.
That's horrifying. That's really the origin of all the mistrust then. Could this have been avoided?
It's a huge debate. Some say the divide was already too deep, but most agree that the rushed, poorly planned partition made things much, much worse. The wounds from 1947 have never really healed. And that's why the problems persist today. The two countries have fought several wars, and there are still major disputes, especially over the territory of Kashmir, which was caught in the middle of the partition. It's a legacy of that moment in 1947.